Hey guys, and welcome to this workout. Today we're going to do a 20-minute racket skill session. So we're going to focus on all the important things you need for the basic strokes like underhand, but also overhead shots. And this is perfect for beginners if you're just starting out, or if you maybe have a few bad habits with the grip especially. So this will definitely help you, but also for intermediate and advanced players, it will help you to improve the quality in your shots. This is just a practical session, so if you want some more in-depth knowledge about the grip, the swing, the different shots, then I've listed you all the technical tutorials down in the description below. But now here, just grab a racket, you also need one shuttle, and then you're ready to go and join me on the next 20-minute racket skill session. Okay, let's get started. First of all, we want to have a short look at the grip we're going to need for the exercises we're doing with the racket. So we are going to use a standard basic grip, or so-called V-grip. And if you're not familiar with it, just hold the racket vertical to the ground and then act like you want to shake someone's hand. And then you should right away get into the V-grip. You can see here between the thumb and the index finger there is a V on top of the racket. And one more important thing, also be very loose with the fingers. So you don't want to hold the racket like this. Be a little bit more loose, spread out. And if you look at the order of the fingers, you can see now the index finger is the highest one up here. If you look at it from the side, then comes the thumb and then the other three. So this is the loose standard grip we're going to need for the first few things. And maybe a good picture for you in your head, try to imagine that you're having a small bird in your hand. Like, you don't want to let it fly away, but you also don't want to squeeze it too hard. So be relaxed and loose with the grip and keep that order of fingers now for the first things we're going to do. Okay, first of all, we want to get a little bit feeling for that grip, and try to imagine that you're having a big knife and you want to slice or chop something, like vegetables, like you are a chef in the kitchen and you want to slice something, and you don't want to do that with the wrist movement, but you want to do that with a small movement of the fingers. So loosen and tighten the grip a little bit and do that slicing movement, I would call it. And now close your eyes so you can even get a better feeling of where your fingers are on the grip, like the position of your hand on the grip. So do again, or continue with the slicing and feel the different edges of the grip. Okay? One last thing for the grip basics. We're going to turn the racket here in our hands and also with the eyes closed. And if I say stop, you try to find the basic V-grip as fast as you can. Then open your eyes, check the grip if it's still the same way, and then again turning and stop. Find the grip, check it, and continue turning it in your hand. Stop, check it, and one more time. Turning, 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 stop. Get into it as fast as you can. And yeah, that's it. That's a very important thing. We're going to work a lot with that loose grip. We'll tighten it also at a few exercises, but for the first one now we're going to do, it has to be really loose. So we're going to start out with a little bit of arm movement as well. And we are going to paint a big 8 that is lying in front of us with the tip of our racket. So if you see the tip of my racket now, if you're looking at it from the front, now I'm painting a big 8. So this is the first thing we're going to do. And very important, we're not going to do that with a wrist movement again, so the wrist is locked, but we turn our forearm and we move our elbow left to right. So you can see when I'm here, the elbow goes to the right side and then the racket head falls down and makes a big circle on each side. So try to get a smooth, round movement in here. Okay, stop. Good. Now get into a little bit more tight grip here and get a little bit more angle between the racket and the hand, and the arm, sorry, and start to rotate. And now you have to be really locked with the wrist. Don't rotate too fast in the beginning, but do a controlled movement from left to right and try to get 180 degrees at least in your movement here. So from here to here, hand and elbow are not moving. And now speed up a little and also tighten the grip a little bit more. And stop. One more time. We're doing it with more speed now. And now the thumb can also go up. So now it's okay if you have that kind of grip. Some call it hammer grip, that the fingers are in that order. But now take that grip and try to get really some speed in that movement here. Be as loud as you can with the racket and stop. Okay, good. Now we want to go into specific shot patterns, and we're going to start with a backhand underhand shot. So put your dominant foot in the front. So for me as a right-hand player, my right foot is in front, my right arm is in front of me, and now I'm going to swing the racket on my left side a little bit downwards, and then I go up. And again, I want to make a big 8. Now it's not parallel to the ground. Now you see it's a little bit from up down, but I'm doing the same movement just like before, but now, as I said, going a little bit upwards, and I'm going here on my left side as a right-handed player with the racket. Try to focus on the elbow. The elbow is leading the movement, so it's always the first thing that goes back and forth, and the hand and the racket are just following. Okay, great. Now we're going to use the shuttle, and we will do some different throwing exercises, and we always need the same grip of the shuttle. So I call it crocodile grip because you take the shuttle like this, like a crocodile, and take the shuttle so your pinky finger here is on the tip of the shuttle and you're holding the shuttle like this. So this is the grip we always need for the throwing exercises. And again, same position we just had with the racket swings. And now we want to throw the shuttle against the wall and catch it again. And we start out not with the racket, shuttle pointing towards the wall, but away from the wall. So the movement looks like this. We go away from the wall and then we throw it against the wall. So again, we have a turn here, a round movement, and throw it against the wall. So let's go. Also raise your other arm so you get into a stable position here. Have a lot of control. And throw it with a round movement up against the wall. Shuttle points away from the wall in the beginning. And into it. Again, elbow really important. Elbow is leading the movement. One more time. Okay. And now grab your racket again. And this time we're doing almost the same movement we just did with the throwing, but now with the racket in our hand. So please don't let your racket fly against the wall. And you do the tightening of the grip. So you close the grip at the end of the movement. So we start again. Imagine the back of the racket here is the tip of the shuttle. So it goes away from the wall, into the wall, and then now here we just tighten and rotate. So in the end, the racket should point a little bit upwards and towards the wall. So away from the wall and also right foot in front, raise the other arm, the left arm for all the right-handed players. Start slow and then accelerate on the way forward. So the backwards movement is slow and smooth, and then you speed up and tighten the grip in the end. Okay, great. We're going to work also on forehand underhand shots. So this time I'm showing it from this side here. Again, right foot in front. Now we're not swinging on our left side for the right-handed players, but we make the swing here on the right side. And again, we're doing the 8 movement a little bit from down up. So try again to make a smooth round movement with the racket. Elbows leading back and forth. And maybe you will feel that it's a little bit more difficult to make it smooth and round on the forehand side. That's totally normal. If you felt a little bit more comfortable on the backhand side, still try to make it really smooth and round. Okay, grab the shuttle again. Same thing like we did with the backhand, also we're doing now here on the forehand side. So crocodile grip, the tip of the shuttle is here at the pinky, and we start away from the wall and then we turn the shuttle and throw it into the wall. Again, our dominant foot is in front, we raise our other arm, so this is always the position we want for these exercises. Against the wall, catch it. 5 more of these. Keep the movement smooth. 2 more. Last one. Okay. Shuttle aside. And again, we end here with some swings with the racket. So again, this is your kind of tip of the shuttle. It goes away from the wall, and then you're doing the round swing and finish again in this position, racket pointing a little bit upwards and towards the wall. So let's go. We start round and smooth and finish with speed. Accelerate on the way forward, go a little bit up. Okay, 3 more. Okay, we go to the next step. So this time we're going to start with the shuttle and we're going to do some overhead shots. But first of all, we start with throwing again. And once again, same grip. We go into this position. This is our starting position for the throwing. So the other arm for me is right hand play, left arm is raised. Right elbow points in the other direction and also the shuttle points into the other direction. So always we're starting with the shuttle pointing away from the wall and now we're throwing it up against the wall. Again, the elbow is really important, so try to throw your elbow up and forward up into the direction of the wall, and the shuttle turns here and follows. Now your left foot is in front of your right-handed play. And you can also put some power here in your throwing movement. And 3 more times. Really explosive elbow. And up. Okay. Grab the racket again. Now we want to do again some rotations with the form or focus on the rotation. And now raise your arm a little. You don't have to raise it all the way up, but keep it a little bit above you. And now go down and rotate 180 degrees. So you do this movement here. From up here, you go down and you can see the racket is doing 1 turn from here to there. So 180 degrees. You start here and here. And also do it with tempo. Make a noise with your racket and tighten the grip in the end. And also when your arm is getting heavy, relax it a little, shake the arm, and then once again. Okay, good. And now we want to connect both of these things. So the arm movement from the throwing and this rotation of the racket, we want to make that at the end. So we're going to start in a position like this. So the end of the racket is pointing away from the wall or away from where we want to hit the shuttle. And now we're going to do the same movement with the arm. And we will come to this position. So from here we do the rotation of the forearm. So you can see if you just focus on the stringing and the head of my racket, I go forward and now I turn it and then I put it between my legs, grab it from the back and then go again from here. I start out a little bit slower. If you're doing it for the first time, focus on the movement here and then you can speed up. You need these 180-degree turning that you can put the racket between your legs like this. If you're looking down, you should see the back of your hand here at that moment. And you know you have it the right way. Okay, we do 3 more. Now with power. Raise the other arm. Okay, good. Okay, perfect. Last thing, now we're going to work on backhand overhead shots. So some people are really afraid of, for example, backhand clear, but you will see the movement is not that difficult. And now we also want to try to get power into that movement and a good round and smooth swing of the arm. And again, we want to start with shuttle. Again, we take the crocodile grip and now we're not going to throw the shuttle against the wall, but against the ceiling. And that means now we let the shuttle point downwards. Again, right foot is in front, and let it point downwards, and then I throw it up against the ceiling. So I try to make a smooth round turn again and throw it up. Tap, 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 tap. Try again. Elbow, really important. Elbow is leading, so the elbow goes up, and now you can see the hand is far below my elbow at that point, and then I really fire it up against the ceiling. So if you feel the movement is round and smooth, then get some power into it. Repetition is really important with these things, so you will feel an improvement quickly if this is new to you, or if you maybe feel that you are having a lot of edges in that movement. A few more, 2 more, last one. Okay, now grab the racket again. 2 more things. First of all, we are doing the other way around what we did with the forehand overhead shots. So we're starting with the racket pointing downwards and we stretch the arm and rotate to the other direction. So again, we have a 180-degree turn from here to here, and this is what we're going to do first. Racket points downwards, and we go up. Loose grip, tight grip. We do 5 more of these. Okay, and now, last but not least, we're going to connect both things again. So we start with the end of the racket pointing downwards, and we throw up the elbow, so we get into this position we just had. So we combine both things. Elbow goes up, and then we rotate outwards. So you can also again start slower, make it as smooth as possible, so it should not be 2 movements, but it should be all be flowing and be connected to each other. The elbow and then also the stretching and rotating from here. Last 5, even if the arm gets a little bit heavy. And we're done. Great, good job. With these exercises we just covered all basic shots, so underhand and overhead shots, and maybe you've also realized the movement is very similar. There are kind of the same movements here, backhand underhand, but also backhand clear. And forehand is the other way around, but pretty much the same. And if you're practicing these small, easy exercises, you will feel that you will get a better swing, a better, just better racket skills with these basic shots. Of course, perfect for beginners, but also intermediate and advanced players can also increase their quality of shots when they're doing just basic exercises like we did here. So feel free to do that workout as many times as you want, maybe every second day. As I said, in the description you will also find more details about the technique, but also more live workouts. And yeah, I'm happy to welcome you in these other videos as well. Before you jump off, there's also one more thing I want to show you, especially if you're just starting out and maybe have some problems with using the right grip, especially when you're playing on court and then you suddenly fall back into bad patterns and you're not holding the racket with the basic V grip anymore. And there's a cool new thing I found out called GripFixer. These small things you can just put on top of your grip and it will help you to stay in the V grip. So you can see this plastic thing here holds your thumb and your index finger right in the position you need for the V grip, so it can help you for basic exercises to get a better feeling, especially for those players who maybe always played with a panhandle grip. You cannot do that with that GripFixer. That will help you to get a better feeling for the right grip for basic shots, especially for overhead shots where you want to create power. So you will find a link in the description as well that you can also buy. There are two versions, one for grown-ups, one for kids, and you can get 10% off with the code. I will also show you that one in the description. And as usual, if you enjoyed this video, it would be awesome if you like this video, and if you're not already following me, then subscribe to my channel and set on the notifications. There will be much more videos like this, so stay tuned and I hope I can welcome you in the next video.